Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. Today I am going to do a comparison and review video of a very cheap knife from Walmart. I was browsing around the sporting goods section of Walmart and found this little gem. Hopefully it's a gem. Anyway, it is the Walmart bait knife. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but it is made by Akbep. Maybe that's not the model number. I'm not sure, but anyway, I don't know if you can see that. But it's made in Pakistan, all right, and it's distributed by Walmart. Okay, and it is $2.87. Very cheap bait knife. Now, what is a bait knife? Well, bait knife is a knife that you use to cut up fish that you don't want to eat, bigger fish or little fish. Cut it up into bait size, and you put it on your hook and whatever. That's basically what I believe what a bait knife is. And usually, you use a bait knife for a lot of tasks that you don't want to wear out your nice fillet knife. You use this for, like I said, food that you're not necessarily going to eat, fish that you're not going to necessarily eat. You're just going to cut it up for bait. So you don't want to use or dull your nicer knife that you have with you, so you use what's called a bait knife. Now, I purchased this because it caught my attention because it looks so much like the Mora Basic. This is anywhere from if you get it real cheap, you can get it almost as cheap as like $9, $10. But I got this from the knife store in the Smoky Mountains for about $12 and some change. This is the cheapest one Mora makes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a comparison and also do a review on this. All right. First of all, let's feel the Mora blade. It is sharp and smooth. It has a very smooth and sharp edge. I can tell you that they did not do a polish or grind on this. The edge is very rough. It does not feel very sharp. So, bait knife is something you want that's sharp enough where you can, and hard enough where you can break through fish bone, cut off fish heads, do some gutting, and things like that. It's something that you use to quickly scale the fish and just, you don't have to really be neat about it because you're using whatever you're cutting up as bait. So that's what a bait knife is, okay? So let's go on to do some cutting. Okay, let's start with something soft, and I'm going to cut it this way to see if it will go through. Just the blade alone is not enough to break the skin of the tangerine, but with applied force, it will cut through. Now, let's do the Mora. And I'm going to use the same tangerine. Definitely less effort, but as you can see, the cut is equally clean. But definitely less effort to cut. Alright, so what happened was I finished the entire video and I did not know that the camera cut off in the middle, and I was like making the video without it being filmed. So as you can see, I've cut up a whole bunch of stuff to demonstrate how everything cut. So I'm going to do some of it over again to show you. Here is the Mora blade, the Mora knife. Cuts through the banana with very little effort, very easily. Here is the Walmart cheap blade. Cuts through the banana easily as anyone would expect, but not as easily as the Mora. Here is the cheap blade from Walmart, cutting into a tangerine. Not very good. It smushed the part that I was holding. Further demonstrate, I'll even make it harder for the Mora by using this part. Definitely a more refined and easier to cut with the Mora knife than this. Okay, the blade by itself will not cut through the tangerine. You have to apply pressure. Here is the Mora. Alright, now we're going to do the sharpness test with a thick piece of paper, almost cardboard-like. Here is the cheap Walmart. Cuts through, but leaves a rough cut edge. So it's cut through, but it's not very clean. I'm sorry, that was the Mora. That was the Mora. Here is the Walmart brand. Walmart brand. Okay. I don't know if you can see it or not, or tell by looking at the video, but this is a lot harder to slice through this paper. A lot more effort has to be used. The Mora actually is cutting very clean. Yeah, it's very clean cut. And a lot easier to cut through this paper. Let's use newspaper grade paper to test the sharpness. This is the Mora. Very little effort to no effort at all. Boom. Okay. Here is the Walmart brand. Forget about it. Not sharp at all in order to cut through newspaper grade paper cleanly. So, as a knife, will it do fine detailed work? Make your job easy? No. Not sure if I caught the video because it cut halfway through. Here is a hard piece of wood that I've had for a long time. The Walmart brand. Very hard piece of wood. Will not bite into it. Very difficult to do any kind of feathering. I'm sure if you sharpened it, it would work. But for feathering, not good at all. Here is the Mora. Okay, as you can see, the Mora will bite into this hard piece of wood and cut big chunks, or not big chunks, but thin slices, thin long slices of feather. Okay, not capable of the Walmart knife, not capable of doing that. So, what is my final conclusion? My final conclusion is this is a bait knife. This is a knife that you use for I don't care if I damage it kind of tasks. It's a knife basically you want to use to cut off fish heads, gut the fish, and you don't have to worry about doing a clean job. You don't have to worry about accidentally using too much pressure to cut a fish and puncture the guts or whatever. You're not trying to do fine tasks with it. You're just interested in cutting or breaking up the fish into little pieces so you can use it as bait. And that's what a bait knife is. So, if you sharpen this, I'm sure that you can accomplish many of the tasks that this knife can do, but the edge retention may not be as good as this. Okay, so in a survival situation, if this is all you had, of course you can make it work, but not as easy as if you can make this work. This will make your job a lot easier. I thought I was being a genius when I bought this, because I thought I was going to make a YouTube video about it and I'll be the only one that thought about it. But there are plenty of videos out there on this knife, and some of them will show you them batoning with it, feathering with it, and starting fires with it. The difference between the Mora and this is the Mora, aside from the quality of this being a better slicer and cutter, the back spine of the Mora is not that sharp at all. You can make it sharper, you can file it down or whatever, but striking ferro rods is almost next to impossible with the Mora. But I have seen videos where they use this knife to strike ferro rods, and I can believe that it will do it because the spine on the back is pretty sharp. So I have seen people baton wood about that thick and strike a ferro rod and start a fire with it. And I have seen people use particular woods and feather with it, but they did say it was not as easy to feather with than other knives. Okay? So, conclusion. Would I buy this to rely on? No. Would I buy this to carry in case of an emergency? Would I carry this as my daily carry out in the woods? No. Would I throw this in a tackle box or keep it around somewhere in a toolbox or something like that in case I need to use something sharp and something hard to dig into dirt or cut something that I normally wouldn't want to cut with a more expensive knife, so I can save that blade for whatever and not ruin a nice knife? Yeah, this is a good knife to have around if you don't particularly need anything that sharp. You just want to... I can tell you that it's gonna take a lot more effort to do things with this knife. So I would personally rather rely on something a little bit more expensive, maybe $10 more, like the Mora, where cutting through things is a lot easier, a lot better. In fact, this knife right here at $12 competes as far as in slicing things like this, cutting things like this, with the more expensive knives that cost maybe 3, 4, or even 5 times more. Okay, so I would stick with this. But since this is only $2.87, if you needed something to do just garbage work, I mean, just you don't care how it cuts whatever you're cutting. If it's something that you want to, let's say, dig into something or whatever, and you don't want to ruin a nice knife doing it, yeah, this would be good to have around to do that. But if you want to accomplish a task and make a job easier for yourself, and you're out there all day working with vegetables or working with your knife, you don't want something like this, because this is going to take a lot of strain on your hands and your physical efforts all day. If you work with knives all day, you don't want something like this, because this is going to make your job harder, make you use more force, and at the end of the day you're going to be tired out. So you want a smooth operating knife when you're out there working with it all day. This, I wouldn't even consider this really a good backup knife, but like I said, you need something hard, and you want, even if you want to just, pry something, or just don't care if this breaks on you or whatever, you just need something hard to work something out with. Yeah, maybe this is something good to have for $2.87. You're not really losing that much. Feels kind of sturdy, but like I said, I will possibly do a follow-up video. I will definitely sharpen this edge, hone it, strop it, and I will get back with you on this, let you know if the use of it much improves. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for putting up with a long video, because I was videoing everything, and then, like I said, halfway through the phone cut out. I didn't even realize that, so I didn't even know where I left off, and pretty much I did the whole video all over again just now, and it cut off again, so somewhere when I started the second time. So I'm gonna piece all these together and just give it to you as is. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.